looking over at him while he speeds down the road. My fingers gently touch his hand, making his tense body relax. "Talk to me, please. You have been silent since we got in the car," squeezing his hand gently. He flicks his eyes at me, then back onto the road. "I heard everything that Jasmine said about Noah. He is not happy with the choice he made." Ew. "How?" Dropping my hand. Zero. Tapping his ears. "Just because I was talking to Damon does not mean I was not listening to what you ladies were doing. When I saw her crying, that is when I was listening with both ears at the same time." Looking out the window, I don't have any feelings for him anymore. There is no need to worry about that part of me. I am in love with you to where nothing will break us apart. He pulls off onto a side road, taking it and making me look over at him. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere for a moment. I need to let you see something." He speeds down the road that is going up a mountain. We travel for a short distance before topping the crest of the hill. He parked the car, got out of it, and came around to help me out of the vehicle, taking my hand in his, leading me down a small path that slowly climbs a steep hill. After a short distance, we emerge from the woods on a massive hill overlooking our homeland. He holds his hand with his palm facing the land, closing his eyes for a minute. Within a few seconds, the place sparkles with a light that looks like someone threw a bucket of glitter in the air, letting it float to the ground from the clouds above it. You see everywhere the sparkles are hitting that will be yours to rule by my side. You know that the king and the alpha must work together as one ruler to keep this land's peace. Noah must take the time to repair his relationship with his mate before his father hands over the reins to him. There may always be a part of him that may love you, but he must understand that I do not share. He has his mate that he chose, while I have mine on my arm. You tell me there is nothing to worry about on that matter. I believe you. When we look into each other's eyes, my heart sees your love for me. I need to make sure that he also knows that you are off limits forever. We will call him in for a visit to see if we can talk some sense into him. He has a child on the way, one he needs to love and cherish with his mate. It will be the same with both of us. We will be wed in a few months. If you want to start a family immediately, we can. If you want to wait for a short time, I am willing to do that, to love each other the way we need to, until you are ready to have our children. That vision that was shown will come true in time, but only when we both are ready for it to happen. He holds me against his chest, standing in front of him. Oh, my eyes tear up at this man who is so gentle with me, willing to wait until I am ready to take the following steps that we want to take with each other. Turning around, my arms wrap around his waist, pulling him to me. Looking up, his eyes shine with so much love as he leans down, kissing my lips gently, pulling me against him to where there is no more room to give. His hands travel down mine, slowly wrapping around my back. Finally, we pull apart, and I can feel his desire poking my stomach and the heat in his eyes. Biting my bottom lip, he takes a step back. Zero, I know what you are thinking. That part can wait, love. As I said, All these sappy things do not mean what is going on in that head of yours. I have told you repeatedly that I will wait until you are ready for that step. It is not anything to take lightly, you know. You will be marked while changed at the same time as we finish that part, taking my hand in his hand. 0. Nodding my head. I know you have. We have grown so close to each other that the step has been on my mind for over a month. Have I been completely ready for that step up till now? No. Am I ready to take that step now that high school is out of the way? Yes. I was waiting until today when I was going to ask you for that commitment because my mind wanted to be clear of all the stress on me. 0. He smiles, kissing me deeply. If you are ready, we will take that step tonight after your party. Come. Everyone must be missing us. Well, sweeping me up in his arms, we take off down the hill, back to his car, and take off to the castle. Once we get there, everyone is in the ballroom. The room is decorated in light purple beige and pale pink decorations as we walk in. Guests flow around the place with plates of food, walking in from the dining hall to watch people dance around the floor before returning to sit down. 0. Are you hungry? Hooking my hand in the crook of his elbow. No. Yes. It has been a while since we had breakfast. Walking into the hallway first, so that my cap and gown could be put up in my room first. After we lay it on my bed, Justin guided me back down to the dining room, pulling my chair out so I could sit down for the early supper that had been ordered for us. He takes his seat as people mingle around the room, finding places to sit, fixing plates, and standing on the walls, talking. Our meals come out, and I look down at the huge plate of grilled chicken steamed vegetables, bread, and a salad. He has a steak baked potato salad, along with bread. So his eyes look over at me with a smile. Enjoy your meal, love. It is what you told me you wanted, correct, Zero? Taking my first bite. Yes. When you gave me the menu to pick from, this is what I wanted. 0. Wine is poured into my glass while he has blood poured into his. Giving it a side eye, he turns to look at me. What is that look for? So, looking back down at my plate, before peering back at his cup, thinking about how different everything will be tomorrow, what it will be like to drink blood like that, pointing to his cup. It might be a little odd at first, but your body will crave it, and you will not care about it being gross. The people who are nice enough to donate, this makes it easier for us to appreciate what they do, willingly nodding to a man who passes by, smiling. Holding out my hand, he passes it to me as my eyes peer into it, seeing the red liquid inside, barely sloshing from side to side with the movement of the cup. He wraps his hand around it, puts it to his lips, turns it up, takes a sip, and licks his lips as he sets it back down. My body shivers at that thought, making him chuckle. Is it warm or cold? 0. You can have it either way, but I prefer mine. He taps his lips for a second body temperature. His eyes scan my neck briefly before a huge grin comes across his face. You are thinking about when you will have to drink from me tonight. So he takes my hands in his. To drink from a willing human is something that words can't describe. The cup here is nothing compared to pulling the hot liquid out of a person straight into your mouth. The pleasure along with how good it feels and the taste of freshness, is just something you will have to experience for yourself. After you experience it for the first time, tell me if you want it fresh or drink from a cup. 0. We finish our meal, since my stomach is rolling a little, talking about drinking blood like nothing. After we finished, he helped me, taking us into the ballroom. After several dances, my bladder feels like it will explode if I don't go. 0. I will be right back. It should not take me long. I slowly let go of his hand as I walked away. He snaps his fingers for Chance to follow, while some men come to talk with him. I walk around the corner, laying my hand on the door. Wait here, Chance. I don't need my hand held for this. He burst out laughing, shaking his head back and forth as I pushed on. The wooden door entered the enormous bathroom and went into a stall to relieve myself. When I am finished, my eyes look into the mirror to straighten out a piece of hair sticking up. My eyes land on Taylor as she walks up behind me, coming out of a stall beside where I stand. Before I can move, she wraps her arm around my waist, pulling me close to her chest as her hand brings a cloth up faster than I can get a scream out of my mouth to alert Chance. You should have listened to all those warnings you were given, bitch. Now he gets what he wants. While I get what I want, she shoves the cloth over my face, holding it there until I black out. Driving to the border of his kingdom, my driver stops at the edge, where my ride is waiting to take me to where I am about to get my property back. Sliding into the passenger seat, we take off into Justin's kingdom to implement the plans we have worked on for the last month. 0. Is everything set up for this afternoon? Looking over at the driver. Of course she smiles. We have been working on this for a while, since you told me you would wait until she graduated. It gave us over a month to decide what we could do. Oro. I did not want to worry about homeschooling her to finish the year. This way, everything is completed so that she does not have to worry about doing nothing but ruling by my side, pulling a picture of her up on my phone for the 1,000th time. She chuckles. This way, both of us are getting what we want. You get the girl whose parents stole her from you all those years ago, while I get the prince who deserves me at his side. 0. She hands me a piece of paper with a drawing of the back of the castle, pointing to a window. This is the closest bathroom to the ballroom. It may take a short time after her eating until she has to go, but when she does, I will knock her out with that stuff you told me about handing her to you. Out the window. 0. Handing her a white handkerchief and a small bottle. Here, put only a small portion of this on there. If you put too much, it could kill her. It is much stronger than what a human is used to, so the smell will take her out within a second or two. My mother's potions are on the vampire scale, not a human's. She pulls over into a massive thicket of woods. Take that path right there. It leads to a wall not guarded at the back corner of the property, hidden by vines. I must get to the graduation so my parents will not miss me. When she comes into the bathroom, I will text you. Make sure by that time you are in these bushes here, pointing to a vast cluster right outside the window. The guards will be light right now if you want to get there to camp out for a few hours. Most were pulled to the ceremony with the king, queen, and prince for the late morning. Looking over the paper carefully. How did you get the camera system taken down when this happens? She giggles. I seduced the young man scheduled to take over at that time, charming him into my bed last night before telling him he needed to do this for me if he wanted another night like that with me again. He believed me when I told him they would be making out in a corner, so the cameras did not need to catch that for everyone to see when the tapes are reviewed. Rolling my eyes at this stupid woman who thinks she will get away with this. But that is none of my concern. Knowing the plan will go to where my wife will be in my arms is all that matters. Sliding out of the car, she takes off to the auditorium where my baby will graduate at the top of her class. Making my way down the narrow path, grown over severely, I finally come to the wall in the back corner of the property. Quietly, I climb up, peeking over the wall and seeing what I might encounter on the other side. The gardens are quiet, with no movement I can see or hear. Flipping over the wall quietly and landing on the other side, my eyes scan the area for a good hiding place for the time being. Finding a considerable area secluded in the middle of the garden with tons of shrubs, I make myself comfortable until my text comes in. 0. After many hours of waiting, her text came through, letting me know she was in place. Scanning the area, there is no one around. I can see, hear, or smell. Using lightning-fast movements, I take off to the back of the castle, fading out in case that idiot did not do what he was supposed to. I crouch behind the huge bush, waiting for the window to open. Shortly after it does, as she shoves her limp body out the window into my arms. Your pickup will be here in 2 minutes. Scale the wall over there, taking off to the place I dropped you off at, she says, pointing to another corner not far away. Oh, nodding my arms, cradle my baby close to my chest as I fade out of the courtyard, over the wall, and down the path to where the waiting car sits. As I get close, a younger boy emerges, looking down at sky in my arms. He opens the door, letting me get in before closing it, jumping into the driver's seat and taking off to where my guard sits with my car waiting. When we pull up, he gets out, opening my door. Taking her over to my car, going to get in his hand, lands on my shoulder. 0. You are going to take care of her. Correct. His eyes are full of sadness. 0. I told you that I would trying to get in again, but he does not let go. Laying my baby down in the seat, my body turns around to this punk that is delaying me right now. What is it, Noah? His eyes land on her. I want to make sure that she will be treated properly. You told me that Justin was abusing her, so I agreed to help get her out of his grasp. Laughing at this naive, dumbass, lovesick kid. She will be treated well when she stays in line, when she does not bend to my will. Let's say her punishments will make her... He takes a step back as his eyes widen. You told me that Justin was hitting her. You lied to me so she could be taken away with you. Laughing in his face. Of course. Do you think the all-gentle Justin would lay a hand on his mate? You are so dumb for being the next alpha. Did you ever see her shying away from him? bruises on her body, or where she was scared of being in his presence. 0. He growls, trying to lunge at me. Holding up my hand, it freezes the lunging body in place so that he can't move. Walking up to him, my finger pokes his chest, hard, shooting sparks through it, making him wince. I am more powerful than you could ever imagine, boy. Once I change her with our combined powers, we will be the most feared leaders ever. 0. She has powers. His eyes flick over to her. 0. Her bloodline is the most powerful one from the human side, which comes out of the first vampire line. He had 2 wives. One was a vampire, while the other was a human. She is the direct descendant of that human line. It has taken me 100 years of research to track down that line, seeing who held those bloodlines along. If they stood beside a vampire, what would come of it? We destroyed her family's lands, forcing them to rule by my grandparents long ago when I traced it down to her line. When her parents took over, I destroyed her mother's line, making sure she was the only person who was a descendant. We forced them to sign this document, pulling out the contract that was retrieved from their house while they had that meeting, giving me her firstborn daughter as my future wife. It has always been that their daughter holds all the power inside them. Once she is claimed by a vampire and changed, all of that power will be unlocked. Now that you and Taylor have delivered her into my hands, I will ensure that we take over every kingdom around here, forcing everyone into becoming our slaves. He tries to struggle against my hold, but fails. The rumors of the wolves that came from your lands were true. They spoke of a cruel ruler who forced them into becoming enslaved people, working day or night until the royals were satisfied. I gave you what you wanted out of the deal. Those 2 glass tubes you asked for, one to kill your unborn alpha, your mate, is carrying because you are not ready to be a father. The other is to kill both of them if you choose. But that will be up to you now, what you do with them. Shrugging a shoulder. 0. He goes limp. I thought that I could get Sky back as mine. That was the biggest mistake I ever made that day. I still love her with my heart. Laughing again, that was never part of the deal. I told you she was mine when Taylor set this up. You were the stupid kid that believed everything we told you. Ooh, he growls at me, but I turn around, sliding her back into my arms and getting into my car, closing the door. My fingers snap, letting him out of the hold, and he falls to the ground hard. My driver steps on the gas, taking off quickly, as a roar emerges from behind us. Looking over my shoulder, he stands there, pulling his hair as he roars after the car. Taylor's POV 0. After shoving that bitch out of the window into his arms, I slide out the window, closing it quietly. Tucking her ring into my pocket after sliding it off her finger so that he could give it to me, allowing us to take the oath. That stuff worked so fast, she didn't even get a scream off, alerting her bodyguard. Walking back into the place, making it look like I was out strolling the gardens, my eyes look up into the camera, blowing a kiss, which is the signal to activate the cameras again. Walking into the ballroom, he is standing there, talking to several people, smiling as I walk up, taking my spot at his side. Afternoon, Justin. Can I interest you in a dance? He looks out the door where she went. Not right now, Taylor. I am in the middle of a conversation. 0. He turns back to the people he was talking to, making my body bristle angrily. He flat out ignored me. I will be his wife, and this is how he treats me. Walking away as my fingers start to grab a glass. Chance comes flying into the room, putting a slight smile on my face. Sire, he bows, panic showing in his eyes. I need to talk to you immediately. Justin looks around and sees that Sky is not with him as they quickly walk out of the room. I follow them at a distance so I can get all the inside details on what he has to say. What is wrong, Chance? Where is Sky? 0. They enter his office, not far from where they were standing. I creep up to the door, putting my ear against it. Sky went to the bathroom. I stood guard, not letting anyone in, but she took a long time. After several minutes, I opened the door, asking if she was there. When she did not answer, I checked all the stalls, but could not find her anywhere. I followed her scent to the window, but it vanished from there. I slid the window open. It was not locked, so someone jumped her in the bathroom, taking her out to the window with them. I could not pick up on any other scents. They must have masked them. We must look at the cameras to see if they show anything happening around the place. Taking off quickly into a spare room across the hall, I quietly close it until I hear them come out, taking off down the hall. Coming out, my eyes scan the halls to start walking in that direction. Cameron rounds the corner, draining all the color from my face. Why are you walking the halls? I thought you were handling the cameras. He smiles, shaking his head. I was at the graduation ceremony. I thought you knew my sister walked today. 0. My heart picks up beating hard. If you were not there, who was on duty? 0. He thinks briefly. John, he took over my shift. I am about to go take over his for the evening. 0. Shit. They are going to the room to watch the footage that was supposed to be cut off. I am dead meat. Justin's POV as we walk into the control room. John looks at us walking in with a worried look. I was about to call you. There is something you need to see. He rolls the footage back, showing Taylor entering the bathroom 30 minutes before Sky does, but never coming out. Next, he switches to the outside camera, which shows her shoving a body out the window as a blur takes off over the wall. She climbs out and goes in, blowing a kiss at the camera before finding me. Slamming my hands down on the table, splitting it in half. Find her now, roaring at the top of my lungs. 0. Pulling out his phone. Chance is on his with the group text, telling all the guards to immediately sweep the palace to find Taylor. Find out who was supposed to be on duty right now. Why did she blow that kiss into the camera? 0. I took Cameron's place so he could watch his sister today. He will be coming in to take my place in a few minutes. My shift is about ready to end. The door opens when he walks in. 0. Your Majesty, I did not know you would be in here. His eyes flick over all three of us. Dull. Pointing to the monitor. Do you know why Taylor blew a kiss at you with the camera? He starts to shake. She told me that the two of you would be making out in a corner. The footage would not need to be seen if someone wanted to spread it on social media. I was to cut it off for 5 minutes while you were mauling each other. There was no way I would go through with it, since it was not my shift. Walking up to him, grabbing his neck, Sky was kidnapped. This so-called blank footage would have cut out who did it and not shown everything we need to know. Zero, he jerks back. What are you talking about? The princess is gone, Zero. Seeing this is going nowhere. My hand slings him to the floor. Find out who took Sky over that wall. Slow it down so we can see who is fading. I have an idea of who did this, but need confirmation since only a few can have that speed. Zero. He gets up, scrambling to his seat beside John, taking it back to where he needs to as tears fall down his face. Sire, please believe me. I had no idea this was going to happen, he says, as his fingers fly over the controls. He gets it slowed down to where the face comes into the frame. Fucking Thomas has my baby, snapping my spine straight and turning on my heels. We both speed out on a mission. We will find Taylor. When we do, she will spill every detail I want her to, even if I stretch it out of her. Zero. Chance's phone pings as he pulls it out. Malcolm has her. She was found trying to run down the halls towards her room. Zero. Bring her to the ballroom now. She will either come clean or I will kill her right there, taking off towards the room. Zero. A few minutes later, she is dragged into the room by Malcolm as he flings her body at my feet. She is crying, shaking, and not looking up at me. Sky's ring clicks out of her dress, bouncing a few times before ending up at my feet. Bending down, my fingers pick it up as my face twists, showing the fury that is trying to surface. Zero. Robert comes running into the room, looking at the scene. What is going on? She looks up at her dad. He is going to kill me, Dad. Please make him have mercy. His eyes flick to mine, blood red now, as my anger is on the verge of snapping. Why are you curled up on the floor? Taylor, please don't tell me you did what I think you did. She slowly gets up, standing on wobbling legs. All I wanted was to be the queen. She got in the way. It was supposed to be me, or her dad pinches the bridge of his nose. You are the one that is responsible for her disappearance. How could you after what happened last time? I heard of the emergency and was on my way down to help look for her. Wrapping my hand around her neck, slamming her into the wall so fast by fading where she could not brace for it. Where is she? How did Thomas get in here without anyone seeing him? Zero. Pushing her hard into the wall. She screams at the pain. My grip is so tight that her words are hoarse. He was taking her back to his place so they could be married immediately. I picked him up at the border, showing him how to get in without being noticed. So, growling hard at her. Is he still on the road, trying to get out of my kingdom with my mate? She shakes her head slowly. No, Noah picked him up, taking both of them back to the border. My head jerks back. Noah. He would not do that. He knows better. Zero. Thomas filled his head full of lies about you abusing her. The only way he thought to save her was to be in on the plan, getting her away from you and into what he thought would be a safe place for her, she says in a strained voice. Noah comes bursting into the ballroom, stopping short and seeing Taylor buried into the wall with my hand around her neck. Justin, please. I know what we did was messed up, but I want to help correct my mistake. I found out all kinds of information from him when he took Sky that may be useful. 0. Looking over at Robert, he has sadness in his eyes as my hands tighten more around her neck. She is gasping for air now, but my arm pulls her out of the wall, slinging her into Malcolm's embrace. Take her to the dungeon. Put her in the silver cell. I will come up with her punishment when we get back. Turning around, my finger points at Noah. Into my office now. There is much to explain before we attack his kingdom. Chance grabs his arm and drags him out of the ballroom. He goes down the hall to my office, followed by my father and Robert. Prince Justin's POV 0. We all walk into my office, while Chance throws him down into the chair hard. He grunts as his body slams into the chair, but glares at the bodyguard. 0. Your dad needs to be called into this meeting right now. I gritted my teeth hard where they felt like they would break. No need. Robert holds his phone up. They are on their way. He should be here in a few minutes. Noah slumps down in his seat. I should have known. Jasmine and I have been having problems for the last few months, so he took advantage of that part of me, filling my head with lies, to get his hands on her. 0. With this kingdom being at peace, when you find your mate, the mate bond will not allow you to hurt them, Noah. You, of all people, should know this firsthand. With yours, sitting down slowly, trying not to rip him to shreds. 0. He nods. I know, but when you are in a state such as I have been, your mind does not work all the time properly. 0. Crossing my arms to keep my twitching hands from grabbing him out of the chair, I said, "What state have you been in?" He looks up, dropping his head. Jasmine is pregnant. She came off the pill over 3 months ago without me knowing about it. We have not been in the best relationship because of much fighting. After all, she wanted a family while I wanted to wait. I told her we did not need to bring a pup into this world with me trying to prove that I was ready to take over for my dad. She felt lonely with all the hours I was required to spend with him, learning everything needed. She would be asleep when I came home. My body was too tired for what she wanted. I would wake up before her taking off for the day, or before school going to his office in the mornings. My dad told me that if this continued, she would either leave or my actions would push her so far away that our relationship would be ruined. I did not listen to all his warnings, so it started happening. I felt alone, lonely, or miserable, and my mind weakened, thinking of all the good times Sky and I had when we were together. My wolf longed for her touch, to hear her voice again. The sadness I was going through had gotten to him, where he was also miserable. My fingers are drumming on the desk as he speaks, while my body fights against itself, wanting to destroy him where he sits. This stupid boy went into a depression over something that could have been worked out between them. He has betrayed my trust in him since he helped in my mate's abduction. As my mouth opens to speak again, his father is escorted into the office, bowing to us. King Charles, Prince Justin. What is the honor of this meeting that was deemed urgent? His eyes flick around the room, landing on his son. Noah, what the hell are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be at the pack house with the party that is going on? Robert brings in a chair for him to sit in. Leaning back in my chair, spearing Noah with a very hateful look, I think you need to explain the entire situation, since you know the most about it. 0. He starts spilling everything from what began over 2 months ago to what happened this afternoon. His dad sits there, not moving in his chair, gripping the arms tighter until they snap into splinters in his hands. His face goes pale when Sky is mentioned. It turns into a shocked but hateful look when he tells about his involvement. You did what? He roars out in complete frustration. Are you that stupid boy? Oh, Noah is now crying so hard under pressure, and the room morale is bearing down on him. It is thick with disgust for what his actions caused. 0. His dad turns to us with pure hatred, frustration, and sadness. What can we do to help? I can have my army of warriors ready in 10 minutes to enter his kingdom. Leaning forward, interlocking my fingers, we need to devise a plan of attack. Thomas knows this will bring my wrath down on him and his kingdom, so his warriors will be ready for us. I will need them at our back, since they have never been beaten in centuries. When we join forces, we must act quickly now that she is in his possession. He will quickly turn her to gain control over her powers. 0. Noah's head snaps up. Did you know she is a direct descendant of the first vampire's human wife? 0. Falling back into my seat as my eyes widen. No, that is not possible. That line was taken out hundreds of years ago. 0. Thomas said it was her mother's side that contains that lineage. He has been researching that line to track it down for a long time. The contract for her hand in marriage was because of her power when she was changed. When that is unleashed, he plans to take over every kingdom around here with her at his side. He rubs his temples. Sitting back up in my seat, laying my hands on the desk. How exactly is he going to take out the other rulers? Noah's eyes become saddened. Both will go on a killing spree, taking out all the ruling families that will force all the citizens into becoming slaves under them. 0. Slamming my hands down on the desk, they both jump. How is that bastard going to do this to her? She would not hurt anyone. My dad says, if he bends her to his will, she will not have a choice with him being her creator. That bond will be bigger than a vampire mate bond. When you sire someone, it brings them closer to where you can control them if you want to. Laying my head in my hands, we have to act now. He will go after changing her by tonight if he gets his way. Noah's dad is typing on his phone. My army will be ready in a few. The beta is gathering them as we speak. This is what needs to happen when we go to attack. He will be expecting us, but if we come in from the backside of his place, it is the weakest of all. Rolling out a map of his place on my desk that was handed to me by chance. Danny, your group will attack from this south wall here. My army will come from the west side here, flanking that wall. Dad, I will need you to take some in from the front to make it look like we are coming that way, so their attention will divert your way. Chance, you will be over a group coming in on my dad's east side. We must quickly get over the walls, ensuring they are taken by surprise. No one takes on Thomas, but me, scanning over my desk at them. 0. My dad locks eyes with me. You can't kill him unless he puts you or her in danger. You know our laws. 0. Pointing my finger hard into the middle of the paper. Has he not put her life in danger? Taking her away, wanting to change her, to control her power. 0. Dad shakes his head. He has not acted enough yet to imply that rule. He kidnapped her, but everything is only planned, no actions yet. 0. Standing up, making my chair crash into the wall. If he carries out those plans, I lose my mate forever. Once he controls her, I can never get that back. That is threatening enough for me to take action on Dad. Thomas has my mate, and he will take her away from me after having her attack everything we have worked so hard at building up here, killing all of us off. That is enough planning in my mind to end his life. 0. He sighs. Fine. When you put it that way, it puts all of us in danger, including you and her. What if he calls for royal combat to be put in place? I will do it. If that son of a bitch wants to take it to that level, I am more than ready to take him out with it growling in my chest. Noah, along with his dad, raises their hands. What is royal combat? They both ask simultaneously. 0, looking at them. A fight to the death. The winner takes over the loser's kingdom, along with whatever they agree is the reason for that call. Sky, Noah whispers. Oh, she will be the prize he will use to implicate this combat. We both want her, but only one winner can have the prize leaning over my desk on my fingertips. Zul, what can I do to help? Noah's voice comes out small. Danny looks over at him. I think you have done enough, son. You will go home to think all of this over. Noah straightens up against his dad. No, I will go on this mission with you. I am one of the reasons this happened. There is no way I will sit back waiting for her to come home if she gets out of the situation. I messed up terribly. This is how I can help, and hopefully some redemption to go along with it. I will not sit by letting my mistake take lives because of my stupid decision, along with falling into that depression state long enough for him to prey on that weakened part of me. Something might come where I can help get her out of there, away from him. So, tapping my finger in a blur on the table, I said, he may be right. There may be a window of opportunity for him to slip away from everyone, getting her far away from everything happening. Concerning your comment on redemption, we will see if you can earn any of that. I don't trust you right now, no matter how far my strength could throw you, getting your body out of my sight. 0. He lets out a long, slow breath, nodding his head. I understand. If there was any way to turn back time, knowing what this outcome would be, I can promise you that it would have never happened. I should have looked closer, seeing that she never shied away from you, never seeing her unhappy or any signs of abuse at all on her end. All I can say right now is how sorry I am. But if I have to lay down my life to make it right, I will in a heartbeat. We talk with each other, get the attack moves down, and make sure everything is ready to head toward his place within the hour. In the back of my mind, I hope we are in time before everything dear to me is lost. I couldn't lose my mate when fate made it so that I finally found the one whom my heart had been searching all of my life. My eyes try to flutter open as the world around me still has weird sounds that make me think people are talking, but it sounds almost like a buzzing instead. Laying on what I fathom is a bed, since it is soft, with covers over me. When I barely move my hands, the buzzing slowly goes away, while voices come into place. Zeros, you need to be watching her, Mia. His Highness said that he wanted to know. When she came to one voice, over to the right side, says, Zero, I am right here at her. She has not moved a muscle yet, Dana. Try to get your work done, so we don't get lashes this time. For being late, the girl at my head hisses. Zero, lying there and trying to regain my mind. Everything comes flooding back. Taylor walked up behind me, putting some rag over my face and making me black out in the bathroom. My body stays still, trying not to panic, seeing if these ladies are bustling around the room quickly, but quietly hoping they say more. Zero. Mia, don't forget to lay those clothes on her settee, as he wanted us to. That is what she is supposed to wear to supper tonight, with him, as the girl, I suppose, is Dana speaking again. Her voice is softer and quieter than the other one. I hear someone pulling a dress out of what I suppose is a closet inside of a bag that is being unzipped and then laying it down on something at the foot of the bed. Where did this girl come from? Do you know the one called Dana? Asks. Zero. There is a beat of silence before the other one speaks. No. He brought her in a few hours ago, barking orders at all of us to get her changed into night clothes, making sure this room was perfect when she woke up. I have never seen this girl at the castle before, so I am unsure where she came from. Zero. Finally, unable to take the suspense anymore, my hand moves up to my head as a groan comes out of my mouth. A gasp comes from one of the ladies. She's awake. Let me go alert His Highness. Yeah. My eyes flutter open at the soft clicking of a door. They come in contact with a girl who looks around my age, with dark brown hair around her shoulders. She is pressing a cold rag to my head. Miss, are you feeling better? Looking around the room, the colors are very dark. The walls are chocolate in color with golden trim. My bed has black posts stretching up towards the off-white ceilings that are very high and adorned with many costly chandeliers, blinking at the bright lights while slowly getting my entire vision back. My body slowly tries to sit up, seeing the bed coverings done in the same dark chocolate with gold accents running through it. Zero. She lays a hand on my shoulder. You should not try to move, miss. I don't know what happened to you before your arrival here. Sitting up anyway, my head pounds for a few seconds. Before fading away, I am fine. I had a headache for a second, but it feels so much better now. The doors fly open as she does a quick bow before moving off to the side, away from me. My eyes make contact with the man that has come striding through them. Zero. His smile is huge. Hello, sweetheart. I am so glad that you are finally awake. We were unsure how long it would take you to sleep all that off. Scooting over to the edge of the bed, away from him, he walks around to my side, sitting down on the unoccupied area and tucking a piece of hair behind my ear. What do you want with me, Thomas? His grin slips a little. Watch how you talk to me, Sky. I am to be respected by you, since your life is in my hands now. Zero. Looking up into his pitch-black eyes, like a storm on the ocean when the clouds block all the light. What if I don't want you to have my life in your hands, Zero? He grabs my neck with his hand, but does not squeeze. You need to watch that smart mouth of yours. It will get you into so much trouble that you will have to be punished for back-talking the king, smirking as he talks. Rolling my eyes at him, as you could hurt me like that. From what I was told, you need me for your conquest that you have fantasized about in that air brain of yours. His eyes go red with that statement as his hand closes in harder, letting me know he is in control. I would not say such things if I were you. Keep it up, Sky. You will regret it more than you know. He lets go, shoving me back down on the bed, hard, pinning me beneath his body. Get off me, you creep! My body struggles under him, to no avail. You know I was going to wait until we were married to change that pretty body of yours. But now, I think maybe it needs to be sooner than that, as his breath fans over my neck. Zero. Thomas, none of that now. His mother walks in the room, making him growl. That can wait a few more hours. You don't want to miss out on the party. About to begin in your honor, do you? His head snaps towards her. What would that matter? That can be skipped for her transformation. His mother laughs. Not when she will be announced tonight to all of your loyal subjects waiting to meet her. They have already begun to assemble in the dining room. If you change her, it would be tomorrow. So he mumbles about how meddling his mother is while backing off the bed slowly. Turning to the two ladies in the room with us, his fingers snap. Have her ready in 10 minutes for me to escort down to the party, Zero. Looking over his shoulder, his eye winks at me, and he takes long strides out of the room as his mother follows, while some guards close the doors behind them. The two ladies in the room with me throw the covers back, pulling on my arm and getting my body out of bed. Come now, miss. It would be best if you got ready for this party. If you are not done by the time he returns, we will be punished for not completing his task. Zero. My feet hit the floor as they dragged me over to a vanity, pulled out the chair, and waved their hand for me to sit. My still aching body plops down in the seat as both go to work on my hair, which is messed up from whatever happened after I was knocked out. They quickly get it fixed back properly, holding up the dress for me to slip on, while the other strips me of my nightgown, making my hands try to cover myself as they quickly work around my failing. Both are helping me step into the frilly thing that looks too big for anyone to wear as it poofs beyond my liking. Pulling it up, they zip the dress up, making sure it is fluffed out properly, while pushing my boobs up into the strapless, soft green dress, making them show a little more. Surprisingly, the vast dress fits well, but looks like something out of a Cinderella movie. They pull out some white gloves, slide them up my arms, and add a small tiara into my hair as the doors open again. Zero, don't you knock glaring at him, while the other two ladies let out a small gasp before bowing their heads. He stops in his tracks, looking me over. Why would I knock on my bedroom door? Oh, my mind goes blank with his statement. This is his room with clothes for me. My eyes snap to the closet, seeing row after row of dresses, shirts, pants, and tons of shoes on one side, while the other is filled with men's clothes. He steps into the closet, grabbing a suit. The ladies sit me down, putting on a pair of white heels as he drops his clothes, sliding on black pants, followed by a light gray shirt. My face stays looking down at the ladies, not wanting to see what his body looks like. They stand up and pull me to my feet before taking a quick bow, turning to walk out of the room quickly as he buttons up the shirt and starts tucking it into his pants. After that, he grabs his black jacket, sliding it over his broad back. Turning around to me, his smile is enormous. "You look like the queen you were born to be." Scoffing at the statement, "Not with you, I am not." 0. The next thing I knew, he stood at my toes, looking into my eyes. "That mouth of yours will be your undoing sky. Learn how to control it before it gets you into trouble." He offers me his arm, seeing I don't have an option since there is nowhere to run. Before I am caught, my hand takes it as he leads me out of the room before we walk down a long hall. Knowing I cannot outrun a vampire's speed or keen hearing, I silently curse myself for everything going on and how I didn't realize that Taylor was not in that fucking bathroom waiting to ambush me. I want to beat my head against the wall until this bad dream disappears, but I know it is all real. I hope Justin will be here shortly to rescue me before anything terrible happens. What his idea of punishment is. Walking down the back staircase that he has taken me down the hall, he helps me down its spiral steps that are wide enough for two people to walk side by side. This place is like Justin's in a way, but smaller. Old paintings line the walls of rulers who have been there in the past. As we get to the bottom step, there is a massive picture of my parents sitting on the throne. Stopping to look at it, when this was taken, my mother was pregnant. I lay my finger on the picture, and it runs over their faces, slowly seeing their smiles as they are dressed in royal attire. Walking down to the next view, they go backward in years when my parents were rulers here. As the last picture comes into view, it is when they got married at the chapel, where a ton of other images of royals who were past rulers here were also standing at the chapel to start their new lives with each other. 0. Now you see that this is your kingdom, sweetheart. Your father's line has been here for many generations. When your mother joined the two of them together, unfortunately, the wolves took over that one with their greed. His eyes flash with some emotion. You drove them out of here with your cruel ways. This is no longer my kingdom. You made sure of that when they took off trying to protect me from what they thought was not a good alliance, crossing my arms. 0. He growls low in his chest. If you don't stop with the insults, we will make a detour being late to this gathering. 0. Oh, where would that be exactly? Somewhere to show off exactly how powerful you are, trying to break my spirit, making me scared of you. Turning around, looking at him with a challenge in my eyes. He must have snapped because he jerked me to him, picked me up, and took off down the hall. Kicking open a door, we go down some metal spiral steps that get darker the further we go. Finally, a stitch hits my nose towards the bottom, where it smells like rotting flesh, unwashed bodies, and soiled floors. He walks past cells where people are curled up in balls on the floors, shaking or shivering from the cold surrounding us. My eyes land on men and women, along with where children are huddling in these iron cages. Most are very thin, and you can see they have not had real food in a long time, which makes my heart sink, seeing them suffer like this. Taking me to the end, where there are all kinds of weird-looking devices, a man steps out of the shadows, looking at us with a smile. 0. Did you bring me a new plaything, Your Majesty? As his white teeth show from under a black mask. 0. He shakes his head. Not yet, Alan. She is to see what can happen to her if she disobeys me, setting me down on my feet. His grin falls. Pity I like the pretty ones. They scream the most when I have my fun with them. Thomas grunts. I wanted to give her a preview of what awaits her when she does not take my warnings to heart. The hooded man touches different devices, and a long, skinny finger slowly drags over them as he walks to each one. This one is my favorite to break my subjects. It makes people slowly go insane while enduring so much pain. The pain finally goes away because they want it to end so much that they lose themselves inside their minds. People have babbled in nonsense languages, telling you that they have lost their minds completely. It looks like a massive barrel where your head sticks out from the top. He opens it, showing metal pegs around it and a fire pit under a metal seat. He flicks one of the spikes, making it ring. When you are in this, we put a fire under the seat, while your feet are bound in these metal irons on the floor, while your hands are in the ones up here near the top. The hotter the fire becomes, the hotter each metal piece burns your skin everywhere it touches you. Your head is on top, where everyone here can hear your pain as the coals heat the metal, melting your skin so badly that people have died in under an hour of being in this one. It depends on how quickly you need to die, or if your punishment needs to be dragged out for hours, days, or weeks. 0. Taking a hard swallow, looking around at all these different things that I know would hurt anyone. It touches my eyes, tear up, looking into the cages at the people who have gotten as far back against the wall, will allow them to go while looking at this man in black. Why are there so many people down here? Ew. Thomas looks over at the cells. They did not do their job properly. After getting whipped, they did not satisfy me when they returned to work. Down here is the next step to try and get them where they know the next step after this is out the door in body bags. Ew. Children are down here. What kind of jobs do they have that have to be completed, seeing a small boy who could not be over 4? He rolls his eyes at me. They don't work, but when their parents disappoint me, the whole family is punished. Oh, tears are now flowing down my face at what these people have to endure with this man. If something wrong comes out of this, there can be some change where people will not have to suffer. He picks me back up, walks out of the room, heading back up the stairs. When we walk out the door at the top, he closes it, takes my hand in his hand, and walks back down towards the dining hall. I see one more portrait before we turn the last corner. The massive picture of us in the throne room, his parents and mine. He is on his parents' right, while I am on the left, dressed in fine royal clothing. I have a small crown on my head because it looks like I am only about 3 here. He stops looking at it and slowly runs his finger over my face on the painting. 0. This was right after the announcement of our union. My parents were so pleased with the agreement, but 2 nights later, your family snuck out in the middle of the night, leaving us. It was the night my parents and I started hunting for you. I was saddened when they took off with you, but now you are back home where you belong. He kisses my cheek. My stomach flips, making me feel nauseous when he does that. 0. Tugging on my arm gently, he nods towards the dull noise of people talking behind some doors where a man bows with his hand on the handle. Are you ready to be announced, sire? He never looks up, keeping his eyes trained on the floor. Oh, yes, this is my fiancée, Princess Skylar Everly, he says, taking his place and holding me against his side. The doors open as the man announces, introducing His Majesty, King Thomas, and his fiancée, Princess Skylar Everly. Oh, the room goes quiet as he walks in with me, and everyone bows with eyes to the floor. We walk to the table at the front, pulling out my chair and helping me sit down. He takes his seat to my right. His mother sits there grinning like a sly fox as her eyes roam over my body slowly. She tisks, turning her head away. What is it, Mom? He speaks in a low tone. 0. Her bright silver eyes turn back towards me. She is too small for a son right now. She will need to be fattened up some. Looking down at my body quickly, I know that I am on the smaller side. But being called out on it has a different effect on what I would love to tell her to do with herself. He growls, "She is fine, mother. Just because you are used to being the skinniest person here does not mean my wife will get fat like that. She will look like this when her transformation happens." 0. She scoffs, crossing her arms. "Why do you want her so little?" she hisses at him. 0. His eyes have that red ring around them. "So you can quit flaunting around here like your body is the God's gift to men. You have been married to another man since my father died. So lying with another man, who is not your husband, is out of your reach." Oh, she gasps before narrowing her eyes at him. "I am stating the facts, son. Small girls do not produce boys, so she needs meat on her body, if that is what you want." Oh, he slams his fist on the table. "Enough, mother. You speak ill of her again. You will not like the results I bestow on you." Ew. Her eyes go wide. "I dare you to try that. If you did, there is no way you will get the spell to ensure you have heirs immediately." He chuckles, looking over at her. "Do you think that I am not capable of doing that myself? I have studied your spell books for years, learning how to do them. How do you think we got her out of place with me being undetected? Some spells helped me get through their defenses without being seen. I also know the ones to help her with our intimacy without your interference. On this night, she will be pregnant with my son, and the chance to become the queen she is destined to become. Is the chapel going to be ready for the wedding tomorrow afternoon?" She rolls her eyes at him before mumbling into her plate. "It will be ready as you requested. The enslaved people made sure of it." 0. Looking over at her, trying to study her problem with me, she glares in my direction. "What is your problem with me? You came into Justin's place warning me about not taking the oath. Now you act like I am a disease for your son to marry. 0. She leans forward, but stops when her son sends her a very sharp look. I don't think you are ready to become queen yet. Your mouth is one thing that I really can't tolerate. On the other hand, your beautiful body needs a little more shaping to ensure what is needed for my son. That could be fixed very easily with a few words. Oh, Thomas looks over at her with total red eyes now. If you do that, you will be down with Alan in a heartbeat. She about falls out of her chair on that statement, but returns to eating quietly. I hope Justin is on his way to get me out of this hellhole. There is no way I would live here with these two vile creatures for another minute. If I could devise a way to get away, or even take my life where he would no longer have my body to command at his will. Having that thought cross my mind sends a pang of hurt through me. I will do everything I can to get back to my mate. I will not be turned against my will, nor serve this person who thinks I belong to him because of some damn contract that my parents were forced to sign. One way or another, I will return to Justin. There must be a way to get out of this so we can be with each other for the rest of our lives. My hopeful rescue. As we sit there eating with his mother, fuming about everything he said a few minutes ago, our plates are taken away. Thomas stands up, raising his hands to get everyone's attention. Woo. Fellow citizens, we are here today for the feast to celebrate my reunion with my betrothed, Princess Sky. She went missing for many years before we could finally find her. Please welcome her back to our family and home, and tomorrow afternoon we shall be wed, becoming man and wife. People start to clap slowly before more and more ring out into huge applause. He sits down as people come up, telling us how happy they are, and tons of congratulations from everyone. I try to put on a fake smile the whole time, but I can't be pleased with all at this moment. I am not supposed to be here with him, but with my loving Justin doing these fun things. He was going to change me tonight, so we would finally become one. I would try to run away, but there was no way my feet could outrun these vampires. They would catch me before I made it through the front gates, if not right outside the door. What would he do to me when I was caught? A shiver runs down my spine, thinking of all those awful contraptions, a few stories beneath our feet that Alan seemed to enjoy using too much for my comfort. He touches my arm gently, holding out his hand. Oh, come, sweetheart. It is time for us to do our first dance together. His hand reaches for mine. Oh, with a silent sigh, my hand reaches up to take his as he pulls me into his arms, laying his hand on the small of my back and leading me into the ballroom, which is not far down the hall. It is not as big, but as beautiful as the other one. He leads us to the middle of the floor, wrapping his arm around my waist and taking the other in his. Those dark eyes I saw earlier are gone, replaced by ones sparkling with joy and happiness. The music starts as he looks down at me, while our bodies move to a very old-fashioned waltz across the floor. He leads as I try to keep up with the steps. This is a little different from all the dances at the castle. The music is faster, while your feet have 6 steps at each move instead of 3. His eyes twinkled with delight as my feet finally found the correct rhythm to match his perfectly. 0. You are a swift learner, I see. Most impressive. He leans down, whispering in my ear. When the song finally ends, others come out onto the floor, while more dances are played, changing every time the orchestra does a song. After about an hour, my feet are getting a little tired. Ugh. Thomas, can I get a drink before sitting down for a short time? My feet are starting to ache a little, looking up into his softened face. Of course, I need to talk with a few people anyway. Sit where that table is next to the wall. It is our table that no one is allowed to sit, pointing to a round wooden table with 4 elegant chairs covered in a gold tablecloth. 0. Making my way over to the table, my hand grabs a drink before sitting down. My eyes closed, trying to wish him to be with me. As my thoughts go out to him, a vision of a vast army marching this way, with him in the front, comes up. I open my mouth in my vision to speak to him. Justin, we are at a party. If you don't get here soon, he will turn me against my will. 0. Justin stops quickly, looking around the field they are in. Where are you, love? I can hear you, but my eyes don't see you. I feel a power spiral through me as we speak again. I am in the ballroom of the castle. There may only be an hour or so before Thomas beds me. Please, hurry. I want to get out of this place. Plus, I miss you so much. Ooh. He smiles, looking towards the castle, where I am looking directly at him. We are only a few minutes away. Can you somehow distract them so that our entry could be a little easier to get in? Many are on guard right now. He thinks you will be too late. He showed me things that scared me to be with him, but he has it, where I am under guard. I would try to run, but that would be pointless right now. Lowering my voice to a sad tone there. Keep the party going. We will be there in a few, he says, swinging his arm to encourage them to keep moving forward. 0. Opening my eyes, his mother stands there, looking down at me, trying to tap into your powers. 0. My eyes snap up to her. Huh? What powers? My feet were hurting, so I was relaxing my body. 0. She smirks. You are back in your homeland, where your powers will start to surface now. I could feel you tapping into them. A wave briefly came off you, trying to cover it up quickly. I was relaxing a little, trying to get my feet from hurting. They are still throbbing, so you must be mistaken. Well, she sits down with a scowl on her face. Don't try to divert me away from things I know. I felt raw energy coming from you for just a brief time. Your powers are starting to allow you to use them a little. Once my son changes you, they will slam into you full force, allowing him to tap into them. Once the connection is made, he can use your powers, making you do things you can't fathom yet. Crossing my arms, propping my feet up on the chair where I slipped out of my shoes. How can your son control someone like that? The connection binds 2 people together where we can feel each other. Emotions know where they are, but not to control someone without that person being in control of their bodies. 0. She cackles. You are a naive child. With your bloodline, the person who changes you will also have control over your powers that are bound inside your body if they so desire to. Pussy. Justin would not take over your powers because he is too gentle of a person who does not believe in doing that. On the other hand, Thomas will. It will be the only way he can have you help him destroy every kingdom around here. After all this is complete, it will make both of you the most powerful rulers this land has ever seen in thousands of years. 0. My hand flies up to my mouth. No, there is no way that I will allow that to happen. He won't make me do that. Too many people are innocent, and I will not kill someone who does not deserve it. She laughs again, but harder. You will not have a choice, dear. When my son controls your body, he will tell it what he wants to be done, as your body will obey his every command. With your bloodline being from the first vampires, your powers are unlimited. 0. My eyes go wide. Did you say that first vampire? The one who has been missing for such a long time? Her grin almost splits her face. That fossil is not missing. Thomas has him locked up here in the castle so that the two of you can work together, unleashing all of the powers that you possess from his line. He had 2 wives. One was a vampire, while the other was human. Your line is a direct descendant of his human wife. That is why your powers are so sought after. My head snaps to the right, along with hers, as men start hollering about an attack on the castle, while guards scurry out of the halls, taking off to their posts. Thomas is beside me before I can blink. I did not think he would come this fast. If it is a war he wants, that is what he will get. Grabbing me up in his arms, we take off through the castle. I have no idea where he will lock me up this time. The first vampire, taking off down a very long hall, up some steps to the 2nd floor, and going down another one, he finally stops at an old wooden door, pulling out a very antique key. Pushing the door open, he shoves me inside, shutting it back and locking it quickly. Well, what do we have here? A very thick English voice comes behind me. Usually, my meals are brought to me in a cup, not a fully human child. Turning around and backing up against the door, my eyes land on a man who is the spitting image of the portrait that Dawn showed us. His eyes roam me in unison, as mine does his body. How would you even address a man who is this old? Sir Highness, Your Grace. I am sorry if you were startled, Your Grace. He did not tell me that this was our destination, squeaking in a tiny voice. So he steps towards me, and our eyes lock, making him stop. Are your eyes sea green? Yes, sir. They skip a generation in my family. I got them after my grandmother, swallowing hard. Whoa. He comes closer, with his hands clasped behind him, as something metal clanks behind his back. What was your grandmother's name, child? Nellie Ann. Risa, sir. Quickly looking down at the floor, he takes in a sharp breath, coming closer. Your hair also comes from that line. I see. His hand slowly picks up a strand, twirling it around his finger. I have waited for you to return to this castle for a long time, Skylar. My eyes shoot up, meeting his. How do you know my name? His smile creeps across his face slowly. You have my bloodline. It hit me when I looked into your eyes. It will be you who breaks me free of this bondage that has held me here for a very long time. Before my capture by Thomas' parents, my intel watched my descendants for a very long time, seeing how it progressed from my wife. I must say that the power coming off you is the strongest I have ever felt in the presence of any of my lines. When you were born, I heard the servants talk about this beautiful little girl who looked like the sun. My wife had those same eyes that skipped our children, but our grandchildren had them. She has been dead for a long time, but her genes live stronger than ever. 0. Taking a step away from him, looking around the bland room he is in. How could someone do this to a vampire? I thought you were the most powerful that ever existed. 0. He brings his wrist out from behind his back, holding it up where a gold bracelet with all kinds of weird etching all over is clamped around it. This is a magic binding gadget. It will not let me use mine, because if I could trust me, we would not be meeting like this. All this around us he circles, his finger would be dust, along with his family, and himself blowing away in the wind. Walking around the room, passing a window, where I see Justin's army coming over the hill, but he is nowhere in sight. There are hundreds of wolves from Danny's pack coming down the mountain. The vampire walks up behind me looking out the window. You need to help me get this off if you want that army to win. I can't use any of my powers, but if we use yours, they can take this contraption off. 0. Looking up at the man, towering over me. How can I help you, sir? He chuckles. Damien. 0. Spinning around, giving him a confused look. Excuse me. He smiles down at me. Calling me sir is not going to fly with me. I am old, but I like to be called by my name. It is Damien. There is a king before that, but I am not in my kingdom right now, so my name will do. 0. Sorry. How can I help you? Get that off, nodding towards the gold thing on his wrist. His head looks back down at the tons of people that have emerged from the woods and are coming towards the castle. Is that all that is here? 0. Peeking out the window. No. That is only about half of the wolf army, along with Justin's. They must be coming from different directions. We rush over to the window, overlooking the back of the place, and see tons more. 0. He looks out over the battalion. Did you say these belong to Prince Justin? So, yes. We are engaged to be married in the next few months. Thomas kidnapped me, claiming I was his to marry, not Justin's. He forced my parents to sign a document saying we were betrothed. When I got old enough, my eyes scanning the never-ending army, cresting the hill. He growls behind me. I will be so happy to take that man out once and for all. He thinks he can do whatever he wants by scaring or controlling people. That is about to change if we can reach him before he asks for royal combat. With Justin, he spits out. Turning around and walking to the center of the room, he sits on the couch, patting the seat beside him. My feet shuffle over to where he is sitting. He holds out his hands, and I put mine in them slowly, hoping that I will not be shocked or a pulse will run through me, killing my body. An instant zip of power flows from him to me, but it does not hurt. What do I need to do? He shivers a little. Damn, you have about the same amount as I do. Now, close your eyes. Think of channeling your power toward the bracelet. It will have to be a rush lesson, but after we get out of here, taking care of some roaches, you will have full courses by me to help control the amount of power you have. 0. Closing my eyes, I listen to his instructions, but it feels like someone poking around in my brain as the sharp but very brief shooting of pain rips through my head. Now, picture it in your mind. I will help guide you through all the steps. I do until my vision sees it around his wrist. Now, take my wrist out of your mind, seeing the bracelet. I don't want to lose an arm in this process. That brings a smile to my lips. I will try my best not to fry your arm off. His chuckle is quiet, but my ears still pick up on it. Good, you are a quick learner. Turn it around until you see the tiny latch holding it together. Doing as he says, it comes around slowly. Right there, see where that tiny line is. Now, enter that latch and find the spring clamped down, holding it closed. Furrowing my brows hard, my mind passes through it. The bracelet bounces my mind back out to the outside again. I try to concentrate on it again, but something is holding me outside the bracelet, not allowing me to go back in. 0. He takes a deep breath. Another zip comes through our connection, taking me back inside as my mind looks for the spring. Right there, you see that tiny item. My mind sees it shining brightly. Take your mind, pulling up on it where that tiny latch is. When you do that, it will drop off my arm. 0. Taking all my concentration on that one small item, it moves slightly, but falls back into place. Reaching out again with my mind, but harder, it moves up ever so slowly to where finally the latch clicks and it disappears out of my mind. Opening my eyes, Damien is sitting there, smiling. 0. We did it. I can't believe that it worked, looking up into his very handsome face. Standing up, he cracks his fingers by interlacing them, flipping his hands over and pushing away from his body. I see his whole body return to life instantly as the door bursts open. His mother is standing there with wild eyes, looking at both of us. My son is such an idiot. He should have known better than to put you two together. Why the hell did he do that? 0. Cocking my head at her, he said I would be safe in here with him. The guards had to help with the attack on the castle. She screams before fading out, but not before Damien does the same, catching her by the throat and slamming her down onto the floor with such force that it should have snapped her back in half. Her eyes go wide. No, it can't be. How did you get that bracelet off? 0. Looking down into her eyes, he smirked evilly. I didn't. Sky did. Now, you will be the first of my revenge to take care of his eyes, swirled in fiery red, flickering flames, making her scream. I watch in horror as her entire body slowly becomes a giant ball of fire, lapping around all the edges for what seems to be an eternity before he rips her head off, slinging both pieces into the wall where they burst into ashes. Finally, all that taunting I have taken from your mouth all these years has finally ended. 0. He stands up as more guards come in, answering her screams, but stops short when they see the massive pile of dust on the ground. He raises his hands, sending balls of fire out, turning each one into piles beside hers before they can turn to run away. 0. I hear the battle going on below. We need to get down there to help. Justin can't kill Thomas unless he or myself is in danger. He wraps his hand around my wrist. He can kill him for the crimes that were committed against you. I wanted it to be me who took him down. I think Justin has a bigger cause than I do. But being imprisoned for almost 1,000 years, I want revenge on him. I need you to stick by my side. Your power is starting to show itself. But if you lash out, you could kill someone by mistake. I have helped unlock it, but you must be trained to use it properly. Come, we need to get down there before it gets worse. He looks out the open door, seeing it is clear. Picking me up, he fades down the halls so fast that we are outside within a few seconds. I did not realize they could move this fast without crashing into people or walls. Excellent sight and hearing, along with all their other abilities, must be a massive perk.